Hey guys, Jill here from Ask a Vet Tech. We're focusing on caring for your senior pet today. We want to make sure that they're comfortable in their senior years, and I have some great information to help you do just that. Some topics we're going to hit on are weight management, dental health, how to keep them engaged mentally, cognitive dysfunction disorder or doggy dementia, seeing, hearing, how to keep them active in their senior years, pain control, hind end weakness, and urinary and fecal incontinence. We want to help them age gracefully and comfortably, so we want to make sure that our dog doesn't get or stay overweight. When our pets get overweight, a lot of things happen. They're uncomfortable, and the extra weight, just like us, makes them not want to move as much as they should. This adds to the discomfort because the less you move, the more stuff hurts. Also, fat is pro-inflammatory, meaning that the more of it you have, the more inflammation you're bound to experience. This puts your pet at a greater risk for things like arthritis and diabetes. Making sure that your pet, as they age, that they get good quality senior food as their diet, that you're feeding them the correct amounts of food to maintain their weight and just not increase it. This information can be found on the back of your food bag, or just ask your veterinarian for the proper amount of food to be fed. As your dog ages, the amount of protein that they need in their diet changes a lot. It drastically reduces. Most of the senior foods have like supplements in them and fatty acid supplement that helps with the joint mobility and like overall health of your pet. Thinking of health, dental health is something that is often overlooked when we think of senior care. It's super common issue with older pets though. As your pet ages, the teeth can hold on to tartar from the foods that they eat and the lack of chewing on hard things. This tartar can hold harmful bacteria and create a lot of damage to the tooth itself and the gum tissue. If this bacteria is built up in too high of concentration level, the bacteria can make its way into the pet's bloodstream, causing other health issues, such as heart disease. You can help your pet with dental health by making sure that they get some dental chews each month, brushing your pet's teeth if they allow you to do so, and your vet may even be able to offer a supplement that you can add to your dog's food to help with the reduction of bacteria in the mouth. I've had some experience with this and it's an amazing product. If you do notice something with your pet's mouth or their breath is like atrocious, it's a good idea to get them a dental exam right away. The longer you wait when you have these kind of issues to get them taken care of, the worse the mouth gets. And if they need to undergo anesthesia to have a tooth extracted, the older they get, the more risks are associated with anesthesia complications or putting them under. The next thing we want to talk about is how to keep them engaged mentally. Your pet, as they age, just naturally withdraws from everything. It's because they need like 16 hours of sleep and maybe more if they're a large breed dog. But also, it becomes more difficult to hear and see, so they just don't want to engage like they did when they were younger. So making sure that you include your pet in activities that they did when they were younger helps keep them sharp. Canine cognitive decline is something that we see a lot in vet med, or doggy dementia. People comment that they just don't seem to want to, and they're absolutely correct. They don't really want to, but you should try to make them do the things that they used to do, at least somewhat, for their physical health and their mental health. Some dogs need help with grooming, and this is a great time to bond with your dog and fulfill some of that needed stimulation and getting them cleaned up and their hair looking nice. Talking to your pet and playing with them is still very important at this age. Games and toys might look a little different than they did when chasing a ball 100 times was just a warm-up. It might be a softer ball and just tossing it half the distance, or a puzzle toy to chew on that slowly releases treats. Challenging the brain is something that we all need. Canine cognitive dysfunction, or canine dementia, is a heartbreaking thing to have to go through with your pet. This can be the hardest thing to deal with when they wake up at 2 a.m. and bark at the wall and you're just trying to get some sleep. They seem to get their internal clock off a bit. They're just trying to understand what's happening. They don't understand that it's a struggle for everyone around them. It is best to try to adapt to their changing needs. Some things to keep in mind as they age. Their sight and their hearing ability is not as good as it once was. They might think that they hear something that's not really there, or see something that's not really there, and they bark at it. Try to be patient with them. Sometimes leaving a nightlight on in the evening hours Leaving the furniture in the same place can also help. Feeding them in the same location can also be helpful as it builds routine. If they seem to be colder, keeping a sweater on them, as their hair might be thinning out a little bit. If you have access to somewhere that your dog can swim, this is an amazing opportunity for some gentle exercise, and it also helps to cool the swollen joints. Some dogs might need a life jacket just in case, and a leash attached, so that you can drag them back if you need to, if you're not swimming with them. So on to the last, but I feel the most important topic of all, is pain management. If you think about how pets age every 7 years to our 1 year of life, it's no wonder that they start getting sore and stiff around 7 years old. This is because as a 7-year-old, they're considered a senior pet. No one wants their dog to be labeled as a senior pet, but it's definitely important to do the right things as they age. Starting senior care around 7 can make your pet so much more comfortable as they age into 10 or even 13 years old. There's so many ways that we can help you in vet med with pain control. There's definitely medications that can be prescribed to your pet from the veterinarian that will help them be more comfortable. Some things to think about. So how do you know if your pet is painful? Do they struggle getting up after resting a while? Do they ever limp? Do they lick at their joints? Do they avoid the stairs, or do they not jump at all anymore? Do they seem to have a reduction in range of motion? Have they had a previous bone surgery or cruciate repair or diagnosis that might turn into arthritis later in life? If you answered yes to any of these questions, perhaps they are painful. If your dog has trouble with stairs, adding a ramp could help them be more comfortable. Low impact exercise is best at this stage of life. Keeping an eye on recovery time after you exercise is so important. Picking up an activity that they enjoy at the level that they can comfortably enjoy it can do for them. It is a great idea to raise food bowls and water bowls up, especially if your pet has a neck or spine issue. Some dogs with super long backs, such as corgis, basset hounds, beagles, or even dachshunds, fall victim to a degenerative disc disease, and they can be super painful, and reaching down to get food or water off the floor, so raising it up a little bit is very helpful. Keeping up on routine nail trims can help minimize arthritis in the toes, and keeping the hair trimmed on the pad side of their feet helps with their pad to grip the floor. Adding some rugs to the dog's walk area to keep them from slipping when they do try to walk or get up. And if possible, add carpet to the ramps used to take the dog in and out or up and down the stairs. This offers much needed grip for old toes. When helping your dog up or down the stairs, you could always take a pair of old blue jeans, placing the crotch part of it underneath their belly and one leg on either side of the dog, making sort of like a hammock underneath of the dog's belly. Or you could use a rolled towel in place of the blue jeans. You put it underneath their belly and you hold on to the blue jeans. You can even put them together over top of their back, and it gives you sort of a handle to hold up their back end, so that if they're weak or they're really struggling to get up and down the stairs, this is a good way for you to help them without hurting your back. It works much like the support of a gait belt for humans. Adding an orthopedic dog bed in the room where they spend most of the time is helpful to keep them comfortable and up off the hardwood floor. If they have hip dysplasia, this can help comfort those super sore joints. Hind end weakness is also something that we see a lot in older pets. Most of the time, they start to lose muscle mass from not exercising enough, improper feeding, or underlying disease. If you're seeing rapid weight loss in your pet, it is best to get checked out by the vet. Just have them check them over, make sure that you're not missing something. Another issue is urinary incontinence. When your dog gets up from napping, they accidentally pee a little on the couch, or they're walking along and just some urine dribbles out. Most of the time, they're not even in control of this issue. It's weak muscles of the bladder system. There are some medications that can help with this issue, but don't wait until it's like a major issue before seeing the vet. The sooner you get treatment for this, the better the medication can work on this issue. Also, having a leaky bladder can cause frequent urinary tract infections in dogs. Hormones could also be the cause. Another reason that your pet could be leaking urine is there could be bladder stones at this stage of life. So that might be why the urine is leaking out. If they're unable to empty their bladder fully when they go potty, and then they come in the house and that stone moves, and then, well, we have a mess. Fecal incontinence is a whole nother ballgame and needs to be dealt with by the veterinarian. I recommend getting your pet an exam every 6 months to a year after the age of 7. This is the time in their life when they need to be seen more frequently to help manage their comfort. If you notice something, say something. No question is too big or even silly. Your pet is counting on you to speak on their behalf. I sure hope I have given you some helpful information to help you get through the next tough stage of life. If you have any questions, please leave them below and I'll do my best to get them answered. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and like this video. It helps me out a lot. Remember, I'm here for you. You're here for your pet. Have a great day.